Hi, I've tried to do this video before and didn't love it, so I'm doing it again, kind of ad hoc. This time of year is sort of spiritually frustrating and kind of exhausting for me. It may be for you too. Sirius is high in the sky. We're starting with harvest and fire festivals, but we're also near the time of the Perseid meteor showers. There is a full moon tonight, and the Perseid meteor showers are going to reach their peak on August 13th. This is August 11th. It's always a tumultuous time of year for me. I've wanted to come back to the channel and sort of talk about what I've been doing, but even though I've tried to do it, I haven't been able to do it very well. I kind of need to do things over and over again. Anyway, if you're interested in a little bit of what I've been up to or whatever, you can go look at the About page. But moving on, let's get a nice little old-fashioned card reading for the period of the meteor showers, which are peaking soon to now, and we'll go through the end of August. And we'll just see what's up. I've got this cute little crossroad right at the center here. That's where I'm going to put this one. And then I'm going to put this one. I couldn't even find all my old stuff, including my phone stand. So we're going to do it this way and make the best of it. All right, this is the Ostara Tarot, and just let's see what we got. How did I know? Okay, this is the Four of Cups. And you see here she is, and she's wearing a bunny mask, and she's holding a bunny, and she's got tons of bunnies. And rabbits are very much connected to the moon, the shapes in the moon, the fertility of the moon, and also the cycles. And this looks like, just off the top of our heads, because it's the Four of Cups, it can be a card of luxury, about having more of something than you need, to the extent that you want to turn something away. A lot of people talk about ignoring things, but I usually think about it as sort of like, I'm good, I'm satiated, I have all I want and I don't need any more. So to me, because this is the Four of Cups, it can relate to that kind of overflowing feeling that I was talking about earlier, just feeling a little bit full to the brim with spiritual tides and other kind of energies. And it's just, what can I say? It's kind of popping the top of the pan. You know what I mean? So, okay, here's this one. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so the Queen of Pentacles, I always tie to one of my main bags, which is to say the dead. I work with the dead a lot and have for years, not just the recent dead, but it could be the long dead, culture heroes, death deities, memorial sites. I mean, the currents of the dead, the rivers of the dead, they run throughout the unseen world, past a lot of different realms and through a lot of different spiritual ecosystems, and also among who we might call the deities or the devas or the fae. I mean, it's a big, crazy world out there. But the Queen of Pentacles, especially with her beautiful goat here for Capricorn, is very much tied to Persephone, and also the Queen of the Harvest. So here you see these grains here. She comes up for spring and goes back down at the end of the harvest. So maybe this feeling is related to the harvest time. I don't know. We'll see what else we got. Okay. So here we have the Five of Pentacles, which in this card, you can see we've got this bride, and I'm going to flip her over so you can see. She's got a snake wrapped around her, and because of her veil, she always reminds me a little bit of a swan maiden. And here is a tree of life, but it also has this greenery growing up around it. A lot of you will be familiar with the Kabbalah symbolism of this in the original Rider-Waite. But when I've got it in reverse, I think about the fives in terms of sort of lacks and plenties, dynamic movement. So sometimes this means you're not going to lack. You're going to have enough of everything. The Queen of Pentacles certainly has enough of everything. So maybe the question is what you have too much of and what you don't have enough of. Because here, people will think, well, you're missing something because you're turning away. But you can also think of it as, I'm putting it down because I've already had enough. I've had my fill and then some. This is typically very much a queen of material abundance, but she is tied to the deep earth. You know, she's the slowest queen, so she's water of earth. So the very deep aquifers and the worships in the caves, you know, like Persephone and Demeter in the Elysian mysteries, or the mysteries of Eleusis, I should say. Anyway, that kind of an idea. But there's abundance that goes with it, and not only agricultural abundance, but abundance of all kinds, health and family and love and all the things you want. So the question is, do you see yourself as having too much of something while you're telling yourself that you don't have enough of something else? Which makes me think, maybe just for me personally, and maybe you think if it applies to you, that I'm looking at one thing in my life and thinking it is inadequate when I'm really not using what I have a surplus of to my greatest advantage. Because there are definitely things that I have tons of, sometimes more than I want. And then there's always that thing that you're reaching for thinking, oh, I wish I had that. Anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. And it does express a certain frustration over longing for something and then also being pretty much done with something else. So I'm going to flip one of my homebrew Geomancy cards and see if we can get a glyph, and maybe actually two, I was thinking, to see what this could relate to. Okay, so flipping it this way, I've got Puer, who is boy. It's also, this is that sort of Aries and Mars type energy, going head first boldly into things, which is exactly how I feel like doing things right now. And then we have, I see, let me hold it over here, Rubeus, who is also another Martian energy. You can see I've got these two sort of, I've got them coded, so to speak. Anyway, Rubeus, so it's a water sign. So it's Mars and water, and this is Scorpio. So we have the two Mars-related glyphs right next to each other. And Rubeus is spilled wine, spilled blood. The boy is playful, but also everything headstrong and impulsive, and sometimes out over his skis. The two of these things together do sort of signal being overly impetuous, being overly bold. And at this time of a little bit of spiritual depletion, I guess it's very possible to write checks that you can't cash. And I suppose that's true for me too. Even with this channel, I'm not really promising anything. I am trying to move into a direction where I will be dealing more with unseen or spirit world type issues, because that's what I've spent the last several years on, both in a personal one-on-one kind of way and then also in a larger sense with general movements or regions or sites, that kind of a thing. Anyway, if you have any questions about that, go to the About section. You can email me. If there's anything you're dealing with I assume there's some reason I want to come back right now, I guess. So if there's something you're dealing with and you have a question or just want to say, have you ever heard this before? Because one thing I did when I started dealing with these kinds of issues, I went and read very widely across a lot of cultures and traditions and histories to see if anyone else was doing things this way. And so even if I don't experience things the way you do and everything is pretty personal, I might have heard something about someone who does or someone who did. I might be able to make a referral to some piece of information or a book or a video that could be helpful, because quite a bit of the time when you're dealing in these realms, just knowing that you're not alone is one of the most important things. You're not alone. People have been doing this for years. And if you're feeling a call to it, I'm sure there's a reason for it that may be a short-term reason, or it might be a longer-term reason like it is for me. But try not to freak yourself out, because it's super normal. Only in this modern, I've got my little scare quotes going now, modern world is it abnormal to be dealing with the dead. So anyway, that's it from me. I hope you found this of some use. I'm glad to have done it. And yeah, I guess that's it for now. Okay, bye. Rock on.